question. I got a question for you. How many of you in here have a back problem? Anybody? Everybody. Being a therapist, I get to hear a lot of great stories about how people hurt their backs. I had a guy come into the clinic once, and he's, all bent over in the I hurt my back position. So I said to him, well, what happened? He said it was the strangest thing. He said, I woke up this morning and my back felt fine. I walked outside and I bent over to pick up the newspaper. Oh, man, and my back went out. I looked at him, I said, what are you thinking about trying to pick up a newspaper all by yourself? Right? I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine if every time our body hurt, it was because of something that just happened? Guy goes walking into the dentist's office. He's got a cavity, right? Dentist says, well, have a seat, open up, let's take a look, see what you had for lunch today. Right? I mean, veal parmesan, there's that little cavity causer, right? Guy goes to the doctor. He's had a heart attack. He's talking to the doctor, and the doctor says, well, what happened? I said, well, I was just golfing. The doctor says, are you crazy? We know golfing causes heart attacks. Yeah, those sound a little far-fetched, so let me give you another back one. Guy comes in, and he's all bent over like this. I looked at him and said, what happened? He said, I don't know. He said, it was the weirdest thing. I woke up this morning, my back felt fine. I walked into the bathroom to go brush my teeth, put some toothpaste on my toothbrush. What was his first movement of the day? Boom! His back went out. His back's sitting there going, man, how much toothpaste did you use? Thank you. Thank you. There's really not too much that's funny about a back problem. Of course, unless maybe it's happening to someone else. I've worked with a lot of people in the clinic. And I teach them how to sit differently and stand differently and lift differently and do everything differently when they got a back problem. And they look at me and they go, oh, this is great. You're showing me how to do everything differently now. Where were you 5 years ago before my back hurt? And I look at them and I say, wait a second. If 5 years ago I would have shown up where you work and I would have shown you how to sit differently and stand differently and lift differently and do everything differently, would you have changed the way you do things? They go, well, of course not, because 5 years ago my back didn't hurt. So how do you motivate people? How close am I to having a back problem? I may be this close, or I may be this far. But because I understand how the back works, I at least pretend like I'm this close. Most people think they're this far, and so what do? They end up using their back in a more demanding way. And one of the first things I'd like to do is talk a little bit about how your back is designed. This is probably going to be the shortest anatomy lesson you've ever had. The spine is an amazing structure. It's made up of several different components, and I'd like to talk about just a few of them. The first one are the bones, or vertebrae. They're designed to protect your spinal cord, and they also provide support for your back. In between each one is a disc. The disc is the shock absorber for the spine. It supports a lot of the pressure that's placed on your back, and it lets your back move into a variety of positions. There are also muscles that attach to your back. They provide support for your spine and generate the movement that your back is able to do. These components, along with many others, function together to provide your back with both stability and movement. All in all, the back is an amazing structure. So, if the back is such an amazing structure, why do so many people have problems with it? Well, to really understand why people have back disorders, you need to think back to the things about heart disease and tooth decay, things that happen gradually, step by step, over time to lead to a disorder. Back problems pretty much happen the same way. They're cumulative. Things that are cumulative have both a positive and a negative nature. Things that are cumulative are happening so slowly that by taking small steps over time, you can prevent the problem from happening. That's the positive. The negative is the problems are happening so slowly that you're not aware there's anything you need to prevent. Let's take a look at some things that can make it either harder or easier on your back. Your back is designed to move into a variety of positions. It can bend forward, it can bend backward and side to side, it can even rotate. But there is a position in which the back, and actually the whole body, functions most efficiently. It's called the power position. Watch a basketball player getting ready to jump. Do they go down to a squat like this to start their jump? There's no power in their legs in this position. Do they stand up completely straight and start their jump from this position? They don't do that either because there's no power here. They get themselves into a mid position with their legs. It's called the power position. You watch the basketball player, look at a baseball player going for the ball. Look at a linebacker getting ready to hit somebody. Look at a weightlifter getting ready to lift a weight. They all start with their legs in the same position. Why? That's the power position for the legs. Well, let's take a look